What's up, pups? How you guys doing? I'm doing great, thanks for asking. For those of you who don't know, I was born and raised in Sacramento, California, and I decided to take a trip to my favorite place in California, which is Morro Bay, and I dragged my boyfriend along because he has this stipulation in his head that California is just the worst place, and I was determined to break that stipulation, so I brought him along and we stayed for a week, and it was incredible, and I didn't want to come home. It is so insane. I cannot tell you how much I hate Florida. And I realize that as I go places that I love. Like when I went to Wisconsin, I loved it. When I went to Chicago, I loved it. I go to California, I'm in heaven because it's like every place that is exponentially greater than Florida. First of all, the people are like the biggest difference. Everyone is just so kind and cordial, and they just go out of their way to be a nice person, which is not something you see in Florida ever. Like ever, unless you encounter someone who's from out of town. The first or second day that we were there, I went to the grocery store and I needed to pick up a few things. And I turned a corner in the Albertsons and I accidentally ran into a lady. And I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And she goes, "That's quite all right. Have a great day." And I looked at her, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, thanks, you too." Like, I did this whole stuttering thing, and my boyfriend looks at me, he's like, "I don't think you were expecting that." I'm like, "I was not expecting that." He's like, "Yeah, that was really strange," because we don't have people like that in Florida. If you run into someone at the grocery store in Florida, you're either gonna get yelled at, ignored, or like scoffed at. Like, they're gonna give you a dirty look and they won't answer if you say sorry. That's just how it is here. It sucks. I would say 4 or 5 days into my trip, I went to a coffee shop to grab a coffee in the morning, and I was just amazed. Like, in my head, I was like, this is insane. People are so nice. Like, I said out loud, I'm like, I love people. That's not something I would ever say. I'm always the one who's like, I hate everybody. Everybody sucks. It's because Florida is just a cesspool. I'm sorry. If you live in Florida and you love it, I'm happy for you. I just personally don't like it. And having lived in another place where people are actually super kind and look out for one another, it's just such a different experience. Oh my God. And the drivers in California. Can we talk about how the people driving are so much more kind and they don't cut you off, and if you're at a four-way stop, they actually wave to you to go even if they were there first because they just want to be nice. And then in Florida, it's like the opposite. Like, when I was driving in California, I was like, this is amazing. And then I come home and I'm like, oh, I got cut off within 2 seconds right in my own driveway. Cool. Okay, so I didn't want this video to turn into a comparison of why I hate Florida and why I love California. So I'm gonna stop now. Obviously, you can conclude so far from this video that I am just a fan of California. If California was a fandom, I would be their president because I love that state. Anyway, I took some clips of different places that I visited while I was out there. I would love to share those with you now so you can kind of just get an idea of how wonderful and beautiful where I went actually is.
On the run, driving in the sun, looking out for #1. California, here we come, right back where we started from. And hustlers, grab your guns, your shadow weighs a ton, driving down the 101. California, here we come, right back where we started from. California. As we go, nothing's gonna stop me now. California, here we come, right back where we started from. And pedal to the floor, thinking of the roar, gotta get us to the show. California, here we come, right back where we started from. California. California, California, here we go. California, California, here we go. California, California, here we go.
So nice. So I will say that the one thing that was slightly disappointing about the trip was that I took my boyfriend to Hearst Castle because I've been many times, and it's kind of something on the bucket list to see, especially if you're in that central California location, really close to Salinas and Cambria and San Simeon. You have to go to Hearst Castle. I mean, there's so much history there, and it's such a beautiful architectural work of art. And of course, when I take him, they're renovating the roof and the side of the main house, and the main pool, which is the most beautiful part of the whole house. No water in it. They're completely redoing the tiles, so that was really disappointing and I felt bad. Also, 2 quick notes. 1, while I was out in California, the only place that I saw that was actually taking part in the water ban because of the drought in California was Hearst Castle, because it's a California state park. So obviously, if anyone is going to abide by a water restricting law, it's going to be them. So they had all the bathrooms shut down at Hearst Castle, and they had signs on the walls that said, due to the drought, we are not allowing patrons and visitors to use the bathroom. You have to use the porta potties outside. That was weird. But I get it. Second thing, the tours at Hearst Castle, if anyone has ever done the tours before, the last time I went on a Hearst Castle tour was 2 years ago, but I noticed that they changed them. So the tour that I did before, I don't remember how much I paid, but I know it was like 1 hour and 40 minutes, and they made sure to tell you there was a ton of stairs and you were going to see the grand rooms and the upstairs bedrooms and different things. I remember the tour took a while. In fact, there was a break in the middle of the tour. We went to like a sitting room in the castle, and they were like, okay, and you guys can use this bathroom if you need to use it, which was a bathroom in the castle. That is not a thing anymore. Apparently they've broken all of the tours up and they're $25 each per person. We did the grand rooms tour, which I assumed was the same one I had done prior that did downstairs, upstairs, the whole shebang. You literally start the tour and you see 3 rooms and they're like, okay, you're done. It was the most disappointing ever. And the tour guide that we had, though she was very kind, didn't actually go into detail about anything, which kind of bugged me because there were things that I had learned about each room in past tours that she didn't actually talk about. So I found myself looking over at Ian after she would start walking us out of the room, and I'd be like, well, that is that, and this is this, and this is from that, and yeah, this, like, and other people were like listening to me like, oh, really? That's so interesting. And I'm like, I know, I don't know why she's talking about it. But yeah, that was a really big disappointment. And then I found out that they had a separate tour for the upstairs. So it looks like what they did is they broke the one tour that I did for the same price into 2 tours, and now they charge double, which is really not that cool. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the clips from California, and I hope that if you have a chance to go, you should go to California. And if you want to have the best, most relaxing time ever and enjoy the weather because it's beautiful, it was 50 degrees every day, go to Morro Bay, California, go to San Luis Obispo, go to San Simeon, go to Cambria, go to Cayucas, go to Paso Robles. All of these places are fantastic and wonderful, and they're also kind of like wine places, so without having to go and deal with all the Napa craziness, you can just go down to this area and still get the same effect. Anyway, if this is the first video you're seeing of mine, hi, I'm Kayleigh. You should subscribe by hitting that red button right down below and we can become best friends forever. Links to my Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and Instagram are also down below. I will see you guys in a few days with another video. Peace out, trouts!